Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. And today I'm doing a review of the movie Argylle. And this is thanks to my sister, Abby. She got third place in my contest, my Oscar contest, trying to predict, I guess my Oscar prediction contest, predicting all the Oscar winners. My sister came in third in that. And so she got the choice of an album or a movie she wanted me to review on the channel. And she picked Argylle from this year, 2024. Yeah, so I did watch it, and here's my review of this movie. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well here on a Thursday afternoon. Yeah, coming back with, this time I'm doing, instead of a 5-minute review, I'm doing a full review of this movie. A movie that came out earlier this year called Argylle. This is a movie that was directed by Matthew Vaughn and stars Bryce Dallas Howard as kind of the main character, the girl that we're kind of following. Sam Rockwell is in here, Bryan Cranston, Henry Cavill, Catherine O'Hara, Samuel Jackson shows up as well, and Dua Lipa has a small part in this as well, amongst other actors, but those were kind of the main ones. And yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for this, and I wasn't like totally into it, except the only thing I was really into was Sam Rockwell. It's one of my favorite actors out there today. He's got such a great sense of humor. He's an Oscar winner. Definitely was interested just watching him and seeing it. It looked like he was kind of funny in the trailer and all that, you know. And Bryce Dallas Howard, I think, is a good actress. I like her in a lot of stuff that I've seen. And so not a bad pairing, those two. Anyways, and it's this spy thriller movie. Obviously, it's about, you know, and again, just from, you can tell from the trailer, and this is what the movie's, it's kind of this premise that I feel like has been done before, where you have this just normal person who gets thrown into this spy espionage, whatever, and she has to, you know, be like, oh, I'm just a normal person, you know, what am I have nothing to do with it. And then she ends up having something to do with it, and she has to kind of, you know, learn to be a spy or whatever, help the spies out in the situation. You know, it's kind of a fish out of water, normal person in a, you know, dangerous situation. You know, I feel like we've had this before with, like, you know, Day and Night with Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise kind of did this similar story in some ways. Also, Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum did one. I forget the name of the movie, but they did one just a year or two ago, where same thing, where she was a writer, I think, and then someone kidnaps her, and Channing Tatum has to help rescue her or something in the jungle. A movie I didn't care for too much. 9 Days is okay. Not a movie not one of my favorite Tom Cruise action movies. But yeah, so it felt like it's one of those premises we've seen before. And that's what it is, except there is a twist in the movie. Because the whole premise is that, yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard plays an author. She writes these spy thriller books named Argylle, is like the super spy that's her main character in the books. And she's very successful with these books. And then she's on a plane and she runs into Sam Rockwell, who then says, you know, there's these guys trying to kill her or something. And then there was a big fight in the plane, and she's like, whoa, what's going on? You know, I don't understand what's going on, kind of thing. Why are people attacking me and trying to kidnap me? And he ends up kind of rescuing her, and she has a cat. She has a cat with her the whole time, is one of the big things. And then kind of find out that, like, her books that she writes actually are mimicking real-life spy events. And so this spy organization is after her because she's, you know, spilling out the secrets or something, or she knows this information somehow. And of course, she's like, I'm just a writer. Like, this is just stuff I'm coming up with the top of my head, and all that. And so it turns out she's somehow she's, you know, connected to all this that's going on. Yeah, so I guess I'll talk about a little bit before I go into spoilers. But yeah, so on its face, you know, it's just it's a premise, like I said, been done before, not the most exciting thing. Again, you know, Sam Rockwell is fine. I like him. He's got a sense of humor about him. The action scenes are just okay, nothing mind-blowing. You also had, there's a weird thing where every time, you know, there's an action scene with like Sam Rockwell, Bryce Dallas Howard's character imagines him as Henry Cavill, because Henry Cavill's who she imagines when she writes her story, and he's like the big Argylle character. So she's kind of imagining Sam Rockwell as the Argylle character, which is Henry Cavill dressed in a tux, kind of like a James Bond style figure, which he looks very good. I mean, Henry Cavill could be like a James Bond if he wanted to be. You know, he's definitely got that look to him, and he can do action, you know, all that, you know. And it's a little weird when they're in the plane and she keeps, they keep cutting from Sam Rockwell doing the action scene to Henry Cavill doing the action scene, but Henry Cavill's not really there. It's really Sam Rockwell, but it's just in her imagination. She's imagining. It's a little weird. I didn't care for that. I'd be like, to me, it's like, either I want to see Sam Rockwell do the action scenes or I want to see Henry Cavill do it. To me, it's like, just, instead of putting Sam, I know probably the idea is that they put Sam Rockwell in here because he doesn't have the look of a spy action guy. He's not really an action type actor. And so he doesn't really fit the mold of the character. While Henry Cavill does. And so I think it's kind of the whole idea behind it. But to me, I was like, why not just put Henry Cavill in that role? He'd be perfect for this action spy thriller role. I feel like he'd be better than Sam Rockwell, even though I really like Sam Rockwell. It felt like he was not casted well in this character. I feel like it was a miscast. I feel like the whole movie was a miscast. I didn't really like a lot of casting choices here, including Sam Rockwell. Like I said, I really like him. Didn't feel like he fit there. I almost felt like, man, just put Henry Cavill in that role and it would fit better. And then we didn't have to have all those switching back and forth between Rockwell and Cavill doing the same action scenes. Didn't really work for me too much. But anyway, so yeah. So we get all that. Well, yeah, and so the action, like I said, it's fine. The humor is fine. As a premise, it's fine. It's just, to me, like it's a mediocre style movie. And then you get the twist, which makes it even worse of a movie for me, which I'll get into in a little bit. I do have to touch on Bryce Dallas Howard. It's very odd because Bryce Dallas Howard, I've seen her in movies. Most times she's very thin, very good looking. Normal, good-looking actress. You always get in these kind of movies. Think of any other spy movie you ever seen. The actress is always really good-looking, wearing, you know, sexy outfits, you know. It's weird, though. We get Bryce Dallas Howard here, and she's obviously gained some weight. Because I said, you watch her in Lady in the Water, and you watch her in Jurassic World movies. She's the love interest in all these type of movies normally. And, yeah, she's, like I said, very skinny, very good-looking. Fits the role very well. So I don't know what happened here, why she gained weight. I don't think it's for the role. My guess is I feel like she hasn't been acting that much lately, except for the Jurassic World movies. In fact, I've seen her doing a lot of directing. She's directed some Mandalorian episodes. And when I've watched the behind the scenes on Disney Plus of her directing Mandalorian episodes. And I remember watching those, and I noticed then, like, oh, she gained some weight. Like, not terrible weight, but just, she's just not super skinny like she normally is. So I do remember going, she's like maybe gained a little weight. Maybe she's done acting and maybe she wants to go direct, and you don't have to be skinny to direct. So maybe she's not, you know, watching her weight as much as, you know, she would if she was, you know, the lead actress. But then you see her in the Jurassic World movies, and she's thin. So it's like, I don't know exactly what's going on there. But then you watch this movie and it's like, okay, she's looking just a little heavier than normal, like I saw in the Mandalorian stuff. And so I don't know if she just doesn't care anymore or whatever. But then it was weird, like, why would you put her in this role? It felt like this was a role for someone. This is a very sexy spy type role. So it's like, why would you put someone in there that's, you know, gained some weight? It doesn't seem to make sense. Like, so I'm still not sure what happened there. If they hired Bryce Dallas Howard and they didn't know she gained weight and she didn't lose it for the role. So like, well, whatever. She's a known name. She's been in a lot of stuff. We like her. We'll just keep her in this role even though she gained weight. Or unless they wanted her to gain weight for the role. I wouldn't know why, but I don't quite understand what happened there. Or yeah, she's like, you know, I'm not losing weight for this. Maybe she told him, I'll take the role, but I'm not losing weight for it. And I guess they decided that's okay. Whatever happened, it's just, that's the way it is. And I just have to call it what it is. She gained a little weight. Just a little, it wouldn't be a big deal, except that in Hollywood, actresses are just super skinny. That's just the norm, what we usually expect out of these type of movies. So it did feel a little weird watching it and just going, huh, she doesn't feel like she fit this role. It felt like a miscast. Felt like you need somebody, you know, you need a sexy, skinny spy, you know, someone that's fit. Because later in the movie, she does some action scenes. Spoiler, I guess. Get into the spoilers here. She does some action scenes, and she's supposed to be this really cool, very good at fighting type, you know, spy, and does these really cool action scenes. And you go, okay, it would make more sense if she was like in really good shape, you know, that she could pull off these stunts and do stuff. But watching her the way she is, it's like, okay, I don't really believe she can be this cool fighter person that's, you know, not in shape, you know, and all this. So it just doesn't quite make sense for the character. It doesn't fit at all. Unfortunately, I hate saying that because I like Bryce Dallas Howard. She's a good actress. Like I said, I like her in a lot of the roles I see her in. Just for whatever reason, just feels like she didn't fit very well in this role, and it kind of hurt the movie overall for me. Okay, I guess I'll get into some spoilers for the movie. So if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert for some stuff that happens. There's a big twist in the movie, which is that the Bryce Dallas Howard character was really a spy. I think the Argylle spy that she based her books off is actually her real life. She used to be this really, really like top of the line spy. But then I'm forgetting exactly what happens, but she has something happens. She has like amnesia. She doesn't remember her past or being a spy. And then some guy, Bryan Cranston, who's kind of the leader of the spy organization, kind of him and Catherine O'Hara, who's like a scientist, they lie to her and tell her that they're her parents, even though they're not. And then they, you know, of course, they lie about her past. They don't want her, I guess, to know that she used to be a spy. And so, but then she remembers, she remembers these events. So she's writing these books based on real events that happened when she was a spy. And there's like some secret information she had that they're trying to get out of her. So they're hoping that she'll write the secret information in one of her books. And so they're encouraging her to write these books. So they'll get this secret information for, I forget exactly why, for some, you know, for something. I can't remember, to be honest. That's the basic premise of it. Anyway, so then she does she finds out about this information, and it blows her mind, of course. And she ends up remembering enough that she starts, you know, doing action scenes because she remembers how to be a spy again, how to do action, just almost like, you know, instinctively knows how to do fight moves and shoot and all that. And so then she gets involved with the action. So at the end, you get some action scenes with her and Sam Rockwell. And that's when the movie goes bonkers wild. Bonkers off the wall, crazy. Some of the stupidest scenes I've ever seen in the movie. Two to be specific, really terrible scenes. One is they're dressed in these like hazmat type suits or something. I say hazmat, I don't know what to say, with these, you know, helmets and everything. And they're I forget exactly what they're doing, but they're shooting at people with these like weapons that make like these, it's almost like paint guns or something like that. It makes this cloud of colorful smoke. And so you have all these like blues and greens, and if I remember right, all these different colors of smoke, you know, when they shoot somebody with these weapons. And they kind of make it this whole dance sequence, and they play it to music, and it's like in slow motion, and it's supposed to be visually like cool, I guess, because of all the colored smoke. But then they're doing like a dance, like they're literally like doing like a Rockwell and Bryce Dallas Howard doing some kind of dance, you know, because I think they're supposed to be falling. They're supposed to be in love, and so there's kind of this romantic moment between them as they're shooting people with these weapons. And just so stupid. It's very cringe. It's very like, oh, what are they thinking? Like, I don't understand who thought this was a good idea. Matthew Vaughn evidently, probably, but I was like, oh, this is terrible. But then we get another really even worse scene than that, and they're Rockwell and Howard are kind of in a bad situation. The bad guys have them surrounded in this like warehouse or whatever. And so she comes up with this idea to, or I think if I remember, again, I'm not remembering everything correctly, but she spills like oil all over the floor. So it's very slippery. So everybody's like slipping and sliding, can't get a footing, you know. And so then she puts knives, she ties like knives on the bottom of her shoes. So they're like ice skates. Somehow that putting knives on the bottom of your shoes all of a sudden turns your shoes like ice skates. And I guess she knows how to ice skate. I think they mentioned that earlier in the movie, something about her ice skating. Anyway, so she's good at ice skating, I guess. And I can't remember what she has. She has a weapon in her hand too as well. But she's like in this black dress, and she's skating across the oil on these. I don't know if that's how it doesn't seem like that's really what would happen in that situation. I don't think you can just ice skate with knives on the bottom of your feet on oil. It's really stupid. But she's ice skating and she's hitting the bad guys for whatever, and she's doing all these really cool moves and slow motion and just absolutely impossible type moves that you couldn't do in real life, but it's supposed to look cool, I guess, and it's more visual style. Anyways, but it was and I've talked to other people and they agree, that was the stupidest scene in the whole movie, and a stupid action scene. Did not work. I didn't care for it. So definitely very, like I said, some action, okay. Some action, very bad, stupid, cringeworthy. And that really hurt the movie. Like the first half of the movie, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of okay with the movie. You know, whatever, nothing real big in it. Second half of the movie, it just, like I said, goes off the walls, bonkers, and you're just like, this is stupid and terrible. And there's even another twist at the end. I won't even mention that twist. But, you know, it's a normal twist you get into these kind of movies, you know, that you've seen a million times. Anyways, yeah. What more can I say? I think, and my problem with this is Matthew Vaughn. I didn't realize it was Matthew Vaughn who directed this movie. And he directed, I haven't really liked any of the movies he's directed. I'm not a fan of his style. I think he's more of a visual style person and not substance and not actual good, you know, action choreography or a good story. He's not as good with. But some of his movies are very popular. The Kingsman movies. I've seen 3 Kingsman movies. Didn't like any of them. Again, the action is just off the wall. The characters are off the wall. Bonkers type characters. Kick-Ass is very popular. I don't care for Kick-Ass. I don't think it's that good of a movie. Again, just a little too weird for me. Even X-Men First Class. A lot of people love that. I didn't care for that. I'm an X-Men fan. Didn't care for that X-Men movie. And that's more the normal movie. That's a more normal movie for him, but still didn't work for me. The only movie I kind of like is Starstruck, I believe it's called. Stardust, sorry, Stardust. Stardust, actually kind of like that movie. It's not great, but it's okay. Not terrible. Most part though, I don't know, Matthew Vaughn, just don't care for stuff. This is along those type of movies where it's just too over the top with the action. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. Story-wise, nothing really, doesn't feel that original of a story to me. Like, why do we need this? And again, characters were miscast as well. So overall, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 stars, which is, yeah, not a good movie. I'm sorry, Abby. If you like this movie, Abby, I'm sorry. It wasn't for me. Unfortunately, it's one of those movies that just didn't work for me. As someone who loves action movies and comedy, it didn't really work as a good action comedy for me. I'm not saying it's really the worst movie of all time. There's been worse movies this year than this one, but definitely towards the bottom, if nothing else. But anyways, that's my review for Argylle. Please feel free to comment. Did you like Argylle? Did you not like it like me? Feel free to comment. Just be nice. That's all I ask of you. Besides that, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for liking it. And thank you to all my subscribers for supporting the channel, including my sister Abby. Thank you for subscribing and commenting and watching my stuff. I appreciate that, and being in my contests and all that. So she didn't have a YouTube channel, or I'd promote her YouTube channel, but she's a really good person. Of course, she's my sister, so I'm biased. But so anyways, thank you to everybody else, and hope you have a good day.